Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacob Silverblade, and today we've got some Space Wolf card reveals. Yes, the AG have contacted me. They've asked me, would you like to reveal some cards? And I gratefully accepted. So let's get into the video. Starting off with, we've got mechanics for the Space Wolves. We've got Hunt Mark and Ferocity. These two mechanics you've most likely have actually seen before already. Hunt Mark is an ability that you can put onto an enemy troop, and when that troop dies, it will heal your warlord and deal damage to the enemy warlord corresponding to the number which is actually on the enemy troop. So if it has Hunt Mark 4, you kill it, you heal your warlord by 4 and deal 4 damage to the enemy warlord. It should be noted that the damage isn't like in 4 separate instances of 1 damage, so hence it will just be 4 damage to the enemy warlord. The reason why this is important is because things like armor, which you can put on the enemy warlord, will reduce this damage taken by the enemy warlord. So it will keep them alive a bit longer if you manage to get really high stacking Hunt Marks on enemy troops. The second thing with Hunt Mark, outside of additional effects, it doesn't actually help you kill enemy troops. So if you've got Hunt Mark which goes really high to the moon on an enemy troop, but you don't actually kill it, it's as if you've done nothing at the end of the day. So it should be noted that, you know, they need to get that balance of Hunt Marks and them being actually able to kill the troops with Hunt Marks as a good sort of combination effect. And the second thing we've got is Ferocity. This is a mechanic which is very similar we've seen before, kind of like Agenda, Duty, those sort of effects. It has an upside though, and also a downside. The upside is that Ferocity effectively has flank, meaning that you can just use the Ferocity ability straight away without needing any sort of conditions of needing to be able to activate it in some sort of way, by giving your troops flank or whatever. The downside is whatever troop you've put down with Ferocity, if you do use your Ferocity effect, it will be sending it back to your deck. Meaning that if you do place down a guy with Ferocity, use it straight away. If you do that, well, he's not normally on the board, which means that your opponent will not need to spend any resources in removing that troop that you've just put down. You've removed it yourself effectively because it doesn't come with card draw. So even though you're able to use these as powerful effects in theory straight away, you are going to be losing on board advantage and also card advantage. So use these effects sort of wisely. With that being said, we're going to go on to the first card reveal, and this is a bit of a juicy one if you asked me, because this card is a really good card in sort of control matchups. This card is the Sons of Morkai Eliminator. It's a 6 cost, it's 3/7 for attacks and 5 life. These stats aren't really that great. It's only 3 melee at the end of the day. It's got 5 life. It's pretty easy to kill. You can probably get a 5 cost flanker which does a bit of melee attack and to kill this guy straight away very comfortably. For 6 cost melee flanker, I'm sure you're able to do it, no problems whatsoever. But its benefits absolutely come from the fact that it has a really high range attack and its abilities. It's got snipe with that really high range attack, so it means that most of the time when it goes into killing something, it is actually going to live. It's got the rarity ability to give Hunt Mark to a random enemy troop, and the reason why that's important is because it's got Ferocity, attack a random enemy with Hunt Mark. It's effectively got flank, but restricted to enemy units with Hunt Mark. But it's almost better, and hear me out and why this is the case. Because it attacks something which is just a random enemy with Hunt Mark, and it gives Hunt Mark to a random enemy troop, you can get this guy to kill stealth units because you don't need to actually target them with the random effects. They will just get it and it will just randomly attack. So if there's one big stealth like Tyranid unit which is on the board, you can play this guy and just get rid of it. It will do damage to the enemy warlord and your warlord will also heal from it. And the second reason why this is better is because it's got such low melee attack, kind of a really big weakness for this guy, and also really low life for its cost, it's pretty easily removed as sort of a troop as a tempo piece. So it's actually really bad tempo piece. So sending this back to your deck again and able to play this sort of effect later as a really crucial removal piece is actually amazing for its role and purpose in being able to kill the opponent's board and being able to deal with their board. So dare I say, this is a really powerful control piece and could arguably get a range attack reduction. I think this guy is kind of crazy and probably just needs to have only 6 range attack because it's effectively got flank, and after killing the troop it's just no return back to your deck. So with that actual extra bonus of being an anti-stealth card, yeah, I think this guy is really bloody good. Next up, we've got the Thunderwolf Cavalry Pack Leader. It's a 4/4 with 5 life for 4 cost. That is pretty decent stats if you ask me, and it has the effect: when an enemy gets hunt mark, give +1 melee to all your units this turn. Pretty nice. And the rally ability, give hunt mark to an enemy troop. Now this is a targeted effect, so you can't give hunt mark to stealth troops. You need some other way to get stealth troop if you want stealth troops to get a hunt mark, but it can still target camouflage troops. It's pretty nice for that. It comes with good stats. It's also a beast, so I don't know what beast synergies there are out there as we're recording this, but if there's some sort of way to give this guy flank, I think this guy will be pretty darn strong. This guy would end up having 5 attack on the turn it comes into play, because presumably it's a hunt mark triggering effect for +1 melee will also trigger on itself, meaning that it can get 5 melee attack in principle, come in with a flank, deal with another troop and give +1 melee attack to your warlord. That would be a pretty darn good card, I won't lie. But as it is, I think it's just merely within itself a decent card, nothing too amazing. The +1 melee giving it to your warlord might be quite nice in being able to remove a troop in the early game, but not so much in the later game really. So overall, I'm not like overly impressed, but I'm not underwhelmed by this card either. I think it's a pretty decent and alright card. Next up, we've got the Wolfguard Terminator. Now, comparing this guy to some other Terminators, I think there's a reason why this card was not revealed to the Ecclesiarch, because my golly, there is other cards in the game which cost 6, come with that 6 life, come with that 1 armor, have around about 6 melee attack or whatever, but then have really poor stats. So compared to this guy for the same cost, you got the Chaos Terminator, which is a 5/6 with 6 life but has no armor. This guy has an extra pip on melee attack, and then it also has armor 1 to come with it as well. This guy is also, I reckon, going to be a really good control tool, and is probably going to be better compared to the other control tools of control cards. Those cards have massive weaknesses in the fact that they had very low range attack or something like that, so they could easily be taken out by range flankers, or you were the Chaos Terminator, in which case you didn't have your armor, so you weren't actually that durable to begin with anyway. This guy has it all really, and I think this guy will be probably a staple in every single Space Wolf control deck out there in the game, and I reckon he's going to be pretty decent card. I'm not thinking OP, unlike the Eliminator, which might be a little bit overtuned. I think this guy is actually just perfectly fine. And finally, we have the Fenrisian Monstrosities. This is kind of a crazy card, as you can see in the background at the bottom there. That is a Thunderhawk. So whatever heck this monstrosity is, oh my golly, that is something which is worth slaying, I can tell you that much. What it does 3 damage to all units and plus 2 additional damage to enemies with Hunt Mark. Now presumably you cannot get Hunt Mark on the enemy ward, e.g. haven't told me of some sort of way of doing that, and from their descriptions you actually can't do that, which is really important, because otherwise this card could get out of hand if it was able to do 5 damage to the enemy warlord. That being said though, this card might seem a little bit strong as a 4 cost, you know, doing 3 damage to the entire opponent's board, but it is going to do it to your board as well. So it's going to kill your troops, it's also going to deal damage to your warlord as well. Overall, I think this card is a very strong card. With that, I don't know what can be used to give that additional +2 damage if they have Hunt Mark. If there's some sort of like 2 cost card which is able to give everything Hunt Mark as a combination effect, this card will be absolutely gigabusted, I won't lie. Maybe this could be increased to 5 cost. It is a legendary though, so it does deserve a little bit of leeway. If this is also the Space Wolves sort of only board clear, it should probably be remaining at 4 cost. Overall, I think this Sylph card is also a very strong card, particularly in an aggro sort of playstyle where that 3 damage to yourself doesn't really matter, but the 3 damage to the opponent warlord really does matter. And I do appreciate this card actually is an actual board clear. It does actually deal 3 damage to all enemy units and all enemy troops. It will actually deal with them. You don't actually have to commit like another board clear to being able to actually deal with a whole bunch of free cost troops. It's just gonna do the job. So I really do appreciate that. That is all the reveals I've got for this video today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.